This is Wendy Henley with the Chamber of Vibes Morning Vibes coming at you with Woody Watts, Watts Creative this morning. How are you, Woody?
I'm rocking and rolling.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, it's hump day.
this morning. Yeah.
And it's excited. It's, when it's midweek and it's supposed to be like close to 80. I don't know. It just gets me happy. Right?
That's right.
It's a warm day.
That's right.
And we've got lots of good vibes this morning. And, celebration days, birthdays, let's get right to it. And then we're going to introduce our famous guest coming up. But, we've got National Celebration Day, Child's Help, National Day of Hope, which I think is very, very important. And then Bookmobile Day.
Bookmobile.
National Bookmobile Day. You need to get out and get some books. Start reading. It's reading time.
It's reading time.
Or writing time.
Oh, yeah, either one.
Write your book.
It's Bookmobile Day.
It's Bookmobile Day. Walking Day, which I feel is important.
I need to do more of that.
I got my steps in yesterday. About killing myself. I'm here to talk about it. And then Sorry Charlie Day, which I think is fun.
What is Sorry Charlie?
You remember how you used to say, Sorry Charlie? Like that was, I don't know, I'm aging myself.
Here's the description. It encourages us to view rejection from a different perspective.
Right.
That's such a nice way of just saying get over yourself and look at it from another. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Whereas
Great
these
day.
days we say different things.
Go for a walk on
Like
Sorry
psych
Charlie Day and
or
think
whatever.
about the alternative view. There we go.
Oh yeah. All good things. So celebrate Sorry Charlie Day, and or you can still play pranks and then say Sorry Charlie. I don't know. I think it's okay. Only for today.
Yeah.
If you missed out on April Fool's Day, you can still do it today. So we've got so many things going on. We've got the health fair coming up tomorrow, and we've got job fair coming up June 23rd, which is exciting. We want the community to come out for these events and just really know what's going on. Tap into your community. Make sure that you're getting involved and that you know what's available to you. And we're certainly there for our businesses community. We want the businesses to understand that they can call us with any needs, and we look forward to promoting their business and making sure that we have the tools and services that they need. So exciting times. I mean, I tell you, spring we ramp up and start really doing different events and making sure that our businesses are there to shine. So, but speaking of that, our workforce is depleted. Everybody knows this. And so we are excited to have Tim Saunders with us today. And Tim is a local celebrity. He certainly has been around. Everybody knows Tim. Welcome, Tim.
Hey, Wendy.
To the show. And we're so excited to have you to talk about what you do and how you serve our community. And we'll start off with just introducing you with your bio. So you've been, in business engagement right now, an outreach coordinator with Central Virginia Workforce Development Board, and you're part of Virginia Career Works. You work and share information about workforce development programs and services for employers and local government, media, and the public. And of course, previously, you've spent 20 years in television and the news industry. And you've had experience as a reporter, an anchor in the newsroom, a newsroom manager. I mean, you've done it all. From 2006 to 2020, you covered the Lynchburg area with WDBJ TV, and you did individual work as a reporter and producer, and you were recognized for 3 Emmys from the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. I mean, you are the man. And I tell you, your professional experience has been full gamut. And of course, you work with Central Virginia Community College and University of Lynchburg, where you teach courses on communications and marketing, which I didn't realize that. So how awesome is that? You're still being a teacher, and everything that you've learned, you're imparting that into others. So I think that's wonderful. You're a native of Bedford County, and you reside in Lynchburg. So welcome.
Thank you for having me on here. Yeah, I love teaching. That's one thing that I enjoy about the job I'm doing now is it kind of blends what I loved about my past career as a reporter, sharing information with people and helping them learn about something. And, workforce development is a hot topic right now, and it's something people have a lot of questions about.
Yeah, they do. I mean, certainly we have coming out of this pandemic and still recovering. We're still in the recovery mode. Businesses are still trying to we went from pivoting, we say, to swivel to now somersaults. And so, today it's like, what do we do? Where do we go from here? And I definitely believe every single employer and company needs to know what you guys offer and really tap into those resources, because there's so many companies out there that really are struggling and they don't even know how to navigate from this point forward. And so I want to talk about let's start with what is Virginia Career Works?
So Virginia Career Works is something that it's bringing together things that have been in our community for a long time. And it's a really powerful network of state agencies and nonprofits that collaborate for the benefit of businesses and job seekers. The way that we help businesses is we go in, we listen to what the employer's needs are as they relate to their workforce, and then we try to help them come up with solutions. We can also help refer job candidates to them, because we have people that we're working with in that network that are that would be qualified candidates for the jobs that they have. So we can refer candidates, but then we can also help businesses with things like hiring events. We can help them with recruiting, so many different things that we can help with. But Virginia Career Works is not just one agency. Like I said, it's a network. It brings together agencies like the Virginia Employment Commission, Virginia Department for Aging and Rehabilitative Services, our community colleges, our adult education providers that are embedded in our K-12 schools, departments of social services. All of these agencies provide employment services in one way or another to businesses and job seekers. And so what we do is we bring them together so that they're not duplicating each other. The idea is that we take the best parts of each agency, what each one does best, and we try to leverage those resources for the benefit of those two groups that we serve, businesses and job seekers.
Wow. I mean, it's so much that you guys are doing in this organization. I mean, when people think about it, I don't know how you do it all. So how does Virginia Career Works actually help people find the job that they're looking for?
Yeah, so we do work very hard to help job seekers. And there's two ways that we do that. We can help people with what we call basic services. So anyone can come into a Virginia Career Works center across the state and get help with things like their resume, looking for a job, preparing for an interview. Those are the basic services that we provide to everyone. You don't have to qualify for that, and there's no cost. You can go in and get those services for free. And we have centers all over the state. The center that I represent is in Lynchburg, but there are centers in Roanoke, Martinsville, Danville. All the population centers around the state have a Virginia Career Works center. So you can go there and get those basic services. But we also provide more comprehensive services for people who are facing barriers to employment, because there are some people that we know would like to work, but for one reason or another, they're facing issues in their life that they have to navigate to be gainfully employed. They can't just go out and find a job.
So speaking of that, so how do you help people to overcome some of those barriers?
Right. So let's talk about what those barriers are. Some of the things that people are facing in life, it could be that they're what we call skills deficient. Maybe they are struggling with things that you and I take for granted, the ability to read, the ability to do basic math, things that, a lot of people have, but there's a large portion of the population that struggles with that. And there's a stigma attached to it, and they don't talk about it as much. And so we exist to try and serve those people, help them figure out, okay, they may not even realize that that's the reason why they can't maintain employment. But when we work with people, we try to identify those skills deficiencies. We work with the adult education providers. They're the ones that do the GED and other adult education services. We are able to get them plugged into that. But we also can help, another barrier that people have, another thing that we can help with is, financial literacy. A lot of people struggle with just budgeting and very basic things related to financial management. And so we can work with them on things like that. There are some other barriers too that people have that you may not think of, childcare being one of them. A lot of people struggle with finding childcare, especially in rural areas. And so we do try to assist with that. We have money available to help pay for childcare in some cases. And then transportation. especially in the city of Lynchburg, there is a large segment of the population in the city that can't get to work. They can't get to the job consistently. They have to rely on a bus or someone else to give them a ride, and they can't get to work, and that will often result in their them losing their employment. And so we try to help them navigate things like that so that they can be gainfully employed. They can be consistently employed.
Yeah, and there is a lot of challenges, right, for right now, and the workforce and the businesses, they are really, exasperated with trying to hire and find the right employees, and so they are at a loss. Our workforce is depleted, and there's so many challenges there. So on both sides, really, you're talking about the employees having their struggles, the employers having their. I mean, there's just so much to overcome, but yet you're there to be in the middle and to help make those connections, and give them the resources that they need so that they can actually get the job that will help them in life and really make the next step and grow in their career. So let's talk about career opportunities. What kinds of jobs do you see that are more available and ready for hire right now in our community?
So there are obviously a lot of jobs open right now. We've heard about the struggles that employers are having to find workers. There are thousands of jobs in our immediate area. I mean, if you look in Bedford County alone, there are hundreds of jobs. In the Lynchburg metro area, which would be the city and the 4 counties attached to it, the job numbers are in the thousands at this point.
Let me just interject. What is the unemployment rate right now for Central Virginia?
So it's between 3% and 4%, and it's very low at the moment. I mean, we do not have a lot of people who are collecting unemployment. It's back to where we were prior to the pandemic. So what we saw, in early 2020 when the unemployment numbers shot up, that is now behind us. It's been behind us now for about a year. So the problem that we're seeing in the workforce when employers say, I can't get anybody to work, it's not because people are sitting at home collecting unemployment. It's because there's several things going on, and I can kind of get into that. This is a problem that was building for a while. This is something that we were starting to see before the pandemic, but the pandemic called attention to it and kind of made it worse in a way. And one of the things that has happened that has, as you say, depleted the workforce is retirements. We have a lot of people who have retired over the last 2 years and left the workforce en masse that were retirement age and maybe were working a little bit longer than some of the people in previous generations. And they've taken this opportunity to leave the workforce. And you have to remember our area in particular, this part of Virginia, it's a population issue. We are growing in Bedford County, but our working age population is not growing as much as we would like it to. We have an older population here. And so when you have a lot of retirements and you don't have younger workers to come in and take their place, it's causing, the workforce to be further strained.
That totally makes sense, everything that you're saying. And of course, now they're talking about everyone's changing careers, right? That's a big topic of conversation. After COVID, people were coming home, they were working remotely, they were learning new skill sets. I mean, writing books, I don't know. There was many changes going on. And so now, you've got this mass exodus of of course, moms who had to stay home and teach their children. This is many things were happening there. So we're seeing the result of that. But everything that you're saying is making sense. And that was, really quadrupling everything that was going on. And so now, where do we go from here? And how can we best help? Let's talk about the demand occupations in our region.
Okay, so the most high demand occupations in our region are healthcare and manufacturing. In Bedford County, we have a strong base of manufacturing employers. We're very lucky here to have as many manufacturers as we do. A lot of people think, most of the things that we use are made outside of the United States, and that is true, but we still have a very healthy amount of manufacturing going on right here in Bedford County. Belvac just recently established a new operation in Bedford County in New London. They make the conveyors for the cans and things. So we have a lot of good manufacturing going on here. Certainly in Bedford County, we have, a lot of jobs in healthcare. That I believe is the sector that employs the most people in Bedford County specifically. But healthcare and manufacturing are the two. And then retail obviously offers a lot of employment as well.
Right. And so both of those, and they're not, you're basically for manufacturing, it's a good way of living. It's a good amount of hourly pay as far as, I think people always had the stigma for manufacturing, and really it's not anymore. People are creating wonderful jobs where they're working there until retirement, and they've got a great package. And so I think this is something that is certainly a way for people to realize, hey, this is a great career opportunity for me. And we've got Sam Moore, we've got so many different ones right here in Bedford County that people really need to check out. And of course, they will do training. You don't necessarily have to have the training. They will do on-site training with you, and they certainly would rather you come in and learn there how they do things. And so so many different opportunities right here. So you're so correct. And the healthcare, oh my goodness, there's so much opportunity there too. And of course, there's a lot of job fairs. We're going to have one. There's different ones going on. Do you guys have one coming up?
We do. Yeah, we're working with Delaware North, which is the organization that contracts with the National Park Service to operate the Peaks of Otter Lodge. They are hiring workers for the restaurant and the hotel for the summer. And we're doing a job fair with them next Thursday, April 14th, at the Bedford Public Library, Bedford Central Library in the town of Bedford. And that's going to be from 1 to 6 next Thursday.
So that's going to be exciting. And they have lots of career opportunities there. And what a fun environment too, right there in the mountains. I mean, you get the view and lots of opportunity, a great company. And I'm excited about that. All the changes they've got going on too.
And yeah, they have elevated their pay for many positions. So a great opportunity for people to take advantage of. And like you said, you can't beat the view up there looking out at the peaks in Abbott Lake.
You absolutely cannot. It's just breathtaking. So where can people, speaking of training, a lot of different companies will train. Where can people train for in-demand occupations?
We have a lot of really wonderful training providers here locally. We've got Central Virginia Community College. We've got Virginia Technical Institute in Alta Vista, which trains people in trade professions. And we've got Centra College, used to be called Central College of Nursing. Now they just go by Centra College. They train people for healthcare careers. And as I said, that is a career field that offers great earning potential for people with not as much training as you might think. I mean, obviously there's going to be, significant training because of what you're going to be dealing with. But it's the kind of job that in maybe, 2 or 3 years, you could come out with a certification and be making significantly more than you might imagine with some jobs.
Right. And so not every job requires a college degree. And we're getting into an environment where, the jobs that are depleting, these are trades. And so let's talk about that. What are the region's best careers, and which ones need a college degree, and which ones let's talk about CTE and the importance of that in the trades.
Oh, absolutely. I would say that just looking at the data, the largest number of jobs that we have available here with the highest pay are jobs that you don't need a college degree to do. You just need a high school diploma and maybe a trade certification or credential, an industry recognized credential maybe, to do the job. And when we're talking about those credentials, that's something that you could earn within a matter of months. CVCC and all the community colleges in Virginia offer fast forward programs, which allow someone to just, again, in a few months' time, come out with the credential that they would need to earn the best amount of money and be prepared to do one of these trade positions. And we're talking about things like welding. We're talking about being an electrician, plumber, things of that sort. You can, in many cases, work for yourself, or you can work for one of the many great employers in those industries in our region and have very great employment, great benefits. I know several employers that offer very competitive benefits packages for electricians, plumbers, welders, and things along those lines. So if that is something that you're interested in, if you like working with your hands, if you like working independently, because a lot of these jobs you can go out and spend most of the day just kind of working on your own with a specific project, and you're making great money doing this. And those are the jobs that are most prevalent in our community. The jobs that require a college degree, sure, they exist here, but they're not nearly as prevalent as the ones that do not require a traditional college degree.
Right. And what we're seeing, the trend, some of these career opportunities that in the trades, they are aging out. I mean, the average age is 50s and 60s, and we don't have people to come in and replace, as you said, for this area. We're an aging community. And so the younger adults that we need for employees to go into these positions are just not here, and they're not going into these fields. And of course, one day they're going to be able to name their hourly price because they're going to be very few of those in those careers.
I think we're already there in a way. I think we're already at the point where workers are able to demand higher pay because they know their worth. They know how in demand they are. And certainly, in the construction trades, we're going to see growth. I mean, we're already seeing growth, especially, in the eastern part of Bedford County. But there's going to be demand for housing construction and other types of construction. And we need more workers in that particular trade right now. And you're right. So many of the people who are employed in the trade professions are aging. And this is a great opportunity for people coming right out of high school right now, or maybe still in high school, to build a career for themselves and a career where they can set their own schedule and make great pay to have a wonderful quality of life here in Bedford County.
Yes, and we definitely want to educate and work with our colleges and high schools, even middle schools, doing these career fairs and making sure that the students know we want you to know what jobs we have available here so that you can seek them out and get the on-job training and start here. When you go off to college, you want to be coming back to your area. At least we want you to, and certainly to work here because we need you in the workforce, and it's a quality of life here, right? We have such a wonderful place to live, work, and play.
We absolutely do. And we have one of the lowest costs of living in the state. We not only offer the great views, the just great everything, but this is one of the most affordable places in Virginia to live. So this is where you want to be. I know when I grew up in Bedford, I couldn't wait to get out, I'll be honest. But I moved to upstate New York to finish my schooling. And I learned that what I thought I wanted was not what I wanted. I couldn't wait to get back. And I've been here, for 20 years since I finished grad school. And this, I think a lot of younger people, if they realize the opportunities that existed here and the fact that, hey, the grass isn't necessarily greener in some of these places that you think you want to live, this is a great place to make a career and to live.
It really is. What drew you back, Tim?
Well, family. I think, I wanted to be closer to my parents. And, I once I got away from those mountains, the mountains called me back.
They do that, don't they?
Yeah.
And we've got the lake and the views and, hiking and biking and trail walking. There's just so much here. We have so many parks and fun things that you can do. Disc golf. You name it, we've got it. So certainly raise a family here and work and play and just have fun and really get involved in your community, because I think that's where it really is healthy for everyone. And so we're just fortunate, like you said, to live here. And so out of all those things, what is your favorite thing to do in your downtime, Tim?
I wish I was more in touch with my hobbies. You would think after the last couple of years where, things slowed down a bit, that I would be more in touch with that. But, I would say that my favorite things to do are creative pursuits. I really enjoy things that kind of relate to my former career, video production, writing, things like that. And I like to travel too. I haven't been able to travel much recently. I miss that.
Right. Oh, exactly. I know. It's so much fun just to get out and see new things and experience fun places. So we are just fortunate, though, again, we're going to go out and enjoy this day and certainly help our community to grow and thrive and help our businesses to tap into those resources at Virginia Career Works. Tim, we will continue to sing your song and make sure that our businesses know who you are and where they need to go to get the help that they need, and of course, the future employees. So thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, and appreciate the opportunity to talk to businesses and everybody about Virginia Career Works.
Well, and everyone we'll just remind them one more time, you're going to do the job fair for Delaware North, the Peaks of Otter Lodge, next Thursday, and people can find out the information where?
If they want to register, you don't have to register in advance, but we do encourage people to do that so that we can keep track. go to vcwcentralregion.com. So V as in Virginia, C as in career, W as in works. vcwcentralregion.com.
Thank you again, and have a wonderful spring day today.
Thank you. You too. I'm sure you're probably anxious to get to the beach on a hot day like this.
I so am. I'm ready for beach weather, for sure. But thanks again, and we'll see you at the next job fair.